Teamster Power 767 Reality Check with Jeff Schenfeld and Garfield Hooper.
How's it going today, Garfield?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm having a good day.
In person today, huh?
In person, yeah. Me and you. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Every once in a while we have to do that, right?
Every once in a while we do.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. The first thing is 8-hour request, and the company's holding, drivers to doing it exactly by the contract. Now, you should always do it anyway, but in the past, you put it in a decent amount of time, but now they're really getting specific. So Garfield's going to read the exact language so you know when you have to get this 8-hour request in.
Yeah. This is an important tool for, keeping, like, if you've got something going on, you've got the seniority and you want to grab, an 8-hour day. But here's what it says. An employee who desires to be relieved from overtime on a particular day must make a written request on a form furnished by the employer. Such a request must be submitted no later than the start of their shift on the third workday preceding the day being requested. A signed copy of the request form stating approval or disapproval shall be returned to the employee by the end of the employee's next working day. Such request shall be granted or denied in accordance with the terms of this subsection. If a request is denied on the above reference form, the employee shall receive a 2-hour penalty pay at their double time rate if the request should be granted at this time based on the criteria set forth in this subsection. This 2-hour payment shall also apply if the employer approves the request and later informs the employee they cannot be relieved of overtime, provided the request continues to meet the criteria set forth in this subsection.
So basically, you get that 2-hour penalty, and so what happened the other day is, my center, and there was different language in the last contract.
Yeah.
Okay, and they would do it by loop, right? If there were more, a certain amount of people in a certain loop, that's not there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's there is, 10% on any given day.
Yes.
Okay. And they didn't want to approve one of the drivers. And we're like, no. We kept talking about, like, no, they have to. I mean, it's 10%. So it's 100 drivers. That's 10 drivers.
Yeah.
Okay. And they thought it was the loop. Well, they probably knew it wasn't the loop, but they were trying to.
Is it based on the number of drivers or is it based on the number of routes?
Based on the number of drivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if there's 100 drivers in the center, but there's only 85 routes, it's still 10 drivers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They base it off the amount of. Yeah, absolutely. So, it's, and they kept saying, no. And we're like, no, wait a minute, and they say everything, all these, this has to be done by seniority as well.
Yes.
Okay. But, there was also, the request was given a month before, and then he had less seniority than a person who just gave it in, this past week. So that's one of those things where he asked for it before and, they gave it to him, but it was all moot. Because guess what? Both of them were able to get it.
Yeah.
But the company wanted to do their own thing.
Yeah.
So it's important that everyone knows that it's 10%, and, it's not about the loop. It's, how many people are in the center? How many drivers are in the center? We want to make sure that's, people know that, because, the company played around and they could have, if people didn't know what they were talking about, they could have, they could have said no.
So let me ask you this. You said that other driver had come in and said, that other driver that's higher seniority had come in like the week prior and said, hey, I want this day off. And say that bumps him down to under 10, to like above the 10%. The company still pays out for that.
No, I mean, they approved it. I mean, they did approve it.
They approved it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the fact is what happened here, if it was a month before, it was kind of too soon.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. There's a couple of things in there, know. But the bottom line is, you do have to base it off seniority.
Yeah.
And you do it in the time frame, like we said, but it was all moot.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they had to do the 10%. And they both were able to get it. But see, they wanted, what they did was kind of pitting drivers against each other, members against each other. So Is that surprising?
No,
to
not at all.
hear? No, not one bit. Not one bit. So just a little info on that. We also wanted to talk about the new contract. We got some wage increases, okay? And so full-time wage increases, all full-time employees who have attained seniority as of August 1st, 2023 will receive the following general wage increases for each contract year. So for 2023 it was $2.75. 2024 75 cents. 2025 75 cents. Ugh. 2026 $1. Ugh. 2027 $2.25.
Yeah.
So
They got to tack that big number on the end.
yes, and I mean that's a separate conversation. I know where
Yeah.
you're looking at me, and I know where you want to go, but we're just gonna leave it. So what about the part timers, Garfield?
The part-timers got the same wage increases as us.
Mhm.
All part-time employees who have attained seniority as of August 1st, 2023 will receive the following general wage increases for each contract year. The total wage increases for each year will be as follows. $2.75 for 2023, 75 cents for 24, 75 cents for 25, $1 for 26, and $2.25 for 27.
Okay. I mean those are the numbers.
Yeah.
We'll just keep it to that.
Yeah.
And
That's what we got. And those wage increases will be yours on August 1st of every one of those years.
yes, absolutely.
Whether that August 1st comes up in the middle of a week or not, I know a lot of people ask, well, they're just going to change it on the pay period. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Like if Tuesday is, July 31st and Wednesday is August 1st, then that's when you'll see your wage increase on August 1st.
Absolutely. Yep. Those days in that week that were after,
Yeah.
as of August 1st. So, but that was another thing. And I know we're just going around with just these small little things that, that pop up in the contract. Also another thing. Okay. If any package drivers pull from their bid route to cover another route, they are entitled to 2-hour penalty payment at their straight time rate of pay.
Yes.
And, they've been, on Mondays or whatever day, they break down your route. And I'm saying to people, I'm like, they're breaking down your route and making you do another route. Now, whether it's arbitrary or the work isn't there, whatever, they're taking you off your route to do another route. Doesn't that seem like that's a 2-hour penalty?
It's worth a grievance.
It's absolutely worth a grievance. It's always worth a grievance. We need that heard.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I can't even imagine a president or a BA saying otherwise. That would be crazy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to go over those couple of things. They're important. I mean, everything's important. Here we go.
It's also important to note that if you're a cover driver
Yes.
and you bid on a vacation on like a route that's vacant,
The weekly routes.
weekly routes,
Yeah.
and they take you off of those, you also get that 2-hour penalty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's if you're taken out off your bid route, whether
And I've had drivers, and I believe we've paid this out.
Mhm.
A driver that is that does not on a bid route and did not get the opportunity to bid because the company failed to post the vacancy bids.
Yep.
He filed for 2 hours for each day
Mhm.
because he didn't get the opportunity to.
Absolutely.
And I believe the company has paid that out.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't afford you the opportunity, and it probably should have gone to you, or either way,
Yeah.
they didn't afford you the opportunity. So
Yeah.
you know what? You're going to pay every single day because
in the time that we're in now, to where every little thing is being brought up,
Absolutely.
every little thing is leading to discipline or
Yeah.
termination.
Uh-huh.
We got to do the same. I mean, that's just
Absolutely.
part of being a part of the union. Like it's not only to protect you, it's to protect your brothers and sisters.
Yep.
Two people can play at this game. They've got paperwork they want to throw at us. We've got paperwork we can throw at them.
Yeah.
And we should be. Anytime you do something wrong, they were not going to hesitate to write you up.
Absolutely.
And you can't hesitate to file those grievances.
No.
Like, they're not your friends.
Oh no. Absolutely not.
You can talk to, you've got your supervisor buddy that you talk football or hockey or whatever with. I'm not asking you not to be cordial with them, but if they're going to do something wrong, you got to hold them accountable, because they're certainly going to hold you accountable if you do something wrong.
Absolutely. I mean, we have to adapt to that. Times are changing.
Yep.
And what the company's doing, we need to adapt to that.
Yes.
And everybody needs to adapt to it. Okay. They have to understand that, you know, they're coming hard after us, and we need to do likewise, go back at them. Okay. So that was a good point, Garfield. I mean, it's always, let's adapt, let's do this, and keep pushing. Don't ever stop. All right. So for myself and Garfield, have a good day.
We all deal with national language, but on this podcast, when it comes to supplemental language, we deal mostly with the southern region. And as always, it's best to get advice from your local stewards or business agents. If you would like to reach out to us with any questions, we have an email address, 767realitycheck@gmail.com. That's 767realitycheck@gmail.com.
And remember, strong people stand up for themselves, but the strongest people stand up for others.